My name is Ori, a city boy from Auckland and ex-Olympic swimmer, now trying my hand at this YouTube thing. I'll show you my life here in paradise as we build a future that me and my family love. We'll build stuff, grow things, cook incredible food from what we have around us, and go on the most amazing adventures. Welcome to Tide and Timber. Alright, so I thought I'd try something different this video. Instead of just narrating what's going on screen, I would tell you a story. Hopefully it's interesting and you guys enjoy it. So while I fluff around trying to catch some of these kahawai in this rough, surgy water that you can see, I thought I would just share about how I got into the sport of swimming and the story of how it all began. So this would be going back a few years now to primary school, which for me, my last couple of years in primary school, I had the same teacher. So that's when you're 10 and 11 in New Zealand. And she was involved quite heavily in the sport of swimming. Her daughter was a swimmer. She was helping out a lot with the club that she was a part of. So she knew what she was talking about when it came to swimming. Anyway, I had managed to do pretty well at my school swimming sports, winning a lot of races, and she recommended and told my mum that I should get into it. This was in my second to last year, so at 10 years old, and mum didn't do much with it for that first year, but second year in that same class, she said the same thing to mum. And this was after me going to the inter-school swimming champs and doing really well and turning up and beating a lot of kids from other schools, but also kids who were training and competing. So that time around, mum took it more seriously and got me signed up with the same club that my teacher's daughter swam at. And from there, it really did take over my life in a big way. You know, I'd always had a dream of doing something with sport. Like I wanted to be an Olympian and had ambitions of going to the Olympics and getting a medal and all that stuff. I didn't really know and mind what sport it was going to be in, you know, being young and thinking it was that easy. But once I started swimming and having success there, it really took over my life, and it was an easy decision to make. You know, I had other sports on the go at the same time. I was doing athletics and rugby at that point in my life, but once the swimming training started to ramp up and as I started to get some success in the sport, it wasn't that hard of a decision to pull back on the others and make the call to really commit to the sport. And I'm glad I did. You know, as a young kid, other than wanting to go to the Olympics, I hadn't given it much thought as to what that involved and what it even looked like. So, you know, here I was figuring out the world and learning about sport and going on trips overseas, which I'd never anticipated ever doing, and all this sort of stuff, which was really, really eye-opening and really a great experience for me as a kid from New Zealand to learn about. But I just thought there would be something interesting to share because, you know, sometimes in life we aren't always aware of our own ability. You know, now in my job, I spend a lot of time working with kids, and you can see potential in kids a lot of times before they can see it in themselves. And I know that to be true of my own life, I think, when I think of this story with my teacher at primary school. So it just goes to show how perspective and experience and all these things can play a part in what you see in others as well as what you maybe don't see in yourself. You know, we are too close and we always see the things we're not good at, or we struggle to see the positives in what we do. But sometimes it takes somebody else who's got a better perspective or a bit more experience in something to say, hey, hold on, no, you actually do. You do have some skills, you do have some potential, and to get after it. So yeah. Anyway, that's a short little story, and okay. All right, so you saw that we've gone for our dive and managed to catch a kahawai. So I'm actually just going to start filleting it now, but before I do that, I need to give the knife a bit of a sharpen. Just had the fish on ice for a little bit, just to set. So, yeah, it's not too bad. It was a pretty wild dive today. You saw there was a whole bunch of these kahawai in there, but just with the way that the conditions were, it wasn't the smartest thing to do to stay in there. So once I got this guy, got out of there. But that's all right, because I actually love kahawai sashimi. It's probably my favorite, to be fair. That being said, it's been a while since I've been in the water and for a dive, so getting out is always a treat and a lot of fun. So I was glad I got in the water, and even happier I managed to get something and it wasn't a complete write-off. Okay. Whee, that's one terrible fillet. We'll get the collar out afterwards. Anyway, wrapping things up now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know if I can call it a catch and cook if I didn't cook the food, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.